Following their appearance at Coachella Festival in California, Irish band Kneecap are being investigated by the UK counter-terror police. The Metropolitan Police said a video of the band's performance, during which one band member allegedly shouted, quote, "Up Hamas, up Hezbollah," has been referred to the counter-terrorism internal internet referral units for assessment. Here's some footage from that performance, though not of the most controversial edited comments.
The Irish not so long ago were persecuted at the hands of the Brits, but we were never bombed from the fucking skies with nowhere to go. The Palestinians have nowhere to go, it's their fucking home, and they're bombing them from the skies. If you're not calling it a genocide, what the fuck are you calling it? Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Free, free!
As you can hear, lots of the audience joined in with the Free, Free Palestine chant, which isn't surprising given what we know about the views of young people in the United States. During the performance, Kneecap also displayed messages about the Gaza genocide. The official live stream was actually cut to try and censor them, but images quickly circulated on social media. Kneecap's performance prompted Sharon Osbourne, to of all people, to call for the band to have their US work visas stripped. Here's an extract from the lengthy, paragraph-free screed which she posted on X, which is far too long for me to quote in full. Not one IDF soldier was killed that day, just 1,400 innocent civilians. Furthermore, the independent artists group which represents Kneecap includes individuals of Jewish heritage. It is disheartening that they have not used their positions to prevent the promotion of such controversial messages. Shame on them. As someone with both Irish Catholic and my mother's side and Ashkenazi Jewish heritage on my father's side, and extensive experience in the music industry, I understand the complexities involved. Golden Voice's claim of being blindsided by Kneecap's performance seems implausible given the circumstances. I know for a fact that certain people in the industry had written to Golden Voice, airing their concerns around the booking of Kneecap. I urge you to join me in advocating for the revocation of Kneecap's work visa. Now, obviously, her claim that all of the victims on the 7th of October were civilians is just false. According to Israeli government figures, 32% of those killed were active duty soldiers. It's also worth reminding ourselves of the reason Sharon Osbourne is famous. It's because she's married to Ozzy Osbourne, i.e. the guy who bit the head off a bat while performing on stage with Black Sabbath. In a comment to Rolling Stone magazine, Kneecap member Moshara responded to the criticism. Her rant has so many holes in it that it hardly warrants a reply, but she should listen to War Pigs that was written by Black Sabbath, her husband. War Pigs is obviously a very, very famous anti-war song by Black Sabbath. While Ozzy Osbourne was the band's lead singer, the lyrics were actually written by bassist Geezer Butler, but I think Mo's point still stands. Let's come back now to the story about the counter-terror police referral. In itself, that referral isn't hugely significant. It basically means someone sent the Met Police the video, and they've passed it on to the unit qualified to determine whether it's a UK police matter. But Hamas and Hezbollah are both prescribed terrorist groups in the UK, under Section 12 of the Terrorism Act 2000. That means it's an offence to express, quote, an opinion or belief that is supportive of a prescribed organisation. That legislation is highly controversial, of course. Organisations including civil liberties advocacy group Liberty have suggested that it is unnecessary and unjustifiable limits on freedom of expression. Harriet, what do you make of the instance with regards to Sharon Osbourne and Kneecap's performances?
Well, I'm going to just touch on the counter-terror report sent to the Met Police and say that after 18 months of genocide, maybe the Met Police would be able to investigate the 240-page dossier of what lawyers have called compelling evidence that implicates 10 British civilians in crimes against humanity and war crimes while serving with the IDF in Gaza. Maybe these are the things that the Met Police should spend their time investigating. We literally none of us can get away from the horrific scenes from Gaza that we see on our social media and our television every single day for the past 18 months. And if Sharon Osbourne is living in the same world as the rest of us, surely she should be able to see this as well. Kneecap have stood in solidarity with the Palestinian people, absolutely fair play to them. When it comes to Hamas being a prescribed organisation, I think that after what we've seen in the past 18 months and after the 70-year occupation of the Palestinian territories and the apartheid state that Palestinian people have been forced to live under, I mean, maybe the Israeli government should be looking at being prescribed as a terrorist organisation in the UK. Gaza is currently the deadliest place on earth to be a child. Israel is killing a child there every 45 minutes. It's also the deadliest place on earth to be an aid worker and to be a journalist. I mean, these are facts, and I think that if anybody is being prescribed as a terrorist organisation in the UK, maybe it should be Israel.
And that's the thing, right? Is that regardless of whether people have certain opinions on who has a more justified side in this conflict, at least we can all agree that there should at least be some level to which that we treat people the same when they act the same. Okay? Like, there are plenty of things wrong with what happened on October 7th. Killing civilians is always wrong, regardless of the circumstances. Yet when deliberate attacks on civilians are framed by Palestinian resistance forces, it is framed as terrorism, and then we prescribe those groups as terrorist organizations. Fine, you can do that if you want. But then when we look at the IDF, who also do indiscriminate attacks on civilians and have killed far more civilians than any of the resistance forces did on October the 7th, they are justified casualties. You know, we had David Lammy justifying the bombing of a refugee camp, right? We never apply those same standards that we apply to resistance groups as we do to the IDF. We talk about those being part of our Western family, as Oliver Dowden said on the BBC 18 months or so ago, right? In that, well, they're the only democracy in the Middle East. Well, that shouldn't matter when it comes to the actions and their consequences. And the scale of the atrocities that Israel has committed and the IDF have committed in Gaza far outstrips that of what happened on October 7th. So you're right. You know, if we're going to be talking about these groups as being terrorist organizations, why does the IDF, who does very similar things, who do very similar things, why do they get away with not having that label? But some consistency, please, would be nice.